So without all that being said, we'll dive into the first question is why do you feel like skilled barbers are struggling financially in 2026?
Lack of marketing, but also people skills, you know? If they're skilled and they're not retaining, there's gotta be some personal development that needs to happen. Probably a plethora of things, but for the most part, marketing.
I would agree too. I would say mainly marketing because I mean you could have the skills, but how are we gonna even know you're skilled if you're not marketing it correctly? And at times it comes down to, being smart with your money. And smart can look different to different people. Cause I mean, there's people that consider themselves smart and they just save all their money. And there's people that are smarter, but they take risks. They invest their money, even if it's their last $1,000. They take the risk, but on the other side of risk, they get rewarded for the risk that they took. But definitely lack of marketing. Barbers don't know how to market themselves to attract the clientele they want. They could be nice with the cuts, but they don't have the clients to show for it because they don't know how to actually market themselves. They think that the skill set of just cutting hair is the only thing in this industry when I think there's mainly like three skills you need to know is marketing, the skill set of cutting hair, and just communicating and networking. Knowing how to move and different skills, not just cutting hair. Because there's barbers. I just talked to some dude today. He said he's never been out of state or flown out for barbering. And it's like this industry is one of the biggest industries
Worldwide
to take
industry.
these industry to take like these risks and to go different places. And these people are just staying back in their hometown, cutting hair. Same thing for 10, 20, 30 years. So the next question we have is posting haircuts alone, is this valid or is it not valid?
I would say if that's the lane, you know, some people do it. I'm not knocking it. Anything is boring. So if you have the same repetitive thing, it will get boring. So your clients will get bored of seeing the same content time after time, time after time. So if you see the same content, you're gonna get bored with it. So that's just one of the biggest things I can stress to you guys.
So from my standpoint, I feel like posting haircuts alone depends. If you're posting like problem, solution on your story, it's different. And the biggest thing I stress with my students is their stories should look like other barbers' reels. So the barbers are not putting effort and they're posting just the haircut reels. I just want their stories to look like that. And then their reels are like a whole other version, like Netflix, like a movie. So it's not valid. It's not attracting clients because you can literally go on barbers' profiles that are just posting that and then we getting the same views for what, 5, 10 years, and they're not changing anything. If nothing changes, nothing changes. Simple.
I think there's no growth without having the accountability with yourself. You know, I think the data is very important. That's why with booking platforms like Booksy, Squire, Square, there's a large plethora of different sites that I think opened the eyes to a lot of barbers where they started realizing, oh my God, I made this much. Oh, I can retain this much. Before there was a lot of barbers that didn't have that information and didn't know that they were really making this amount of money until they had the analytics, the data that showed it. Once you have that data and analytics, it's up to you to really capitalize and bring it to the next level.
Definitely. So next question is there a pricing problem in the industry? And if there is, who would you say is responsible for
Man,
it?
we talked about this earlier off air, man. I think there is a problem where the general public transitioned into want to be a barber because they see a free blends, they see a Ramos, and we making $100 a cut, $200 a cut. We're traveling the world. I want to do that. They don't understand the sacrifice, and I might say my sacrifice was a little harder than yours, where I paved the way in a way, but you scaled very faster. That's why big shout out to you for having a course that teaches and educates barbers. And I would say you're bigger than just the barbering industry. You can utilize your techniques and your program to nail techs, to anyone, tattoo artists, because that same formula, you can use those tactics and those skill sets and not even skill sets, that system that you have, man. I had to go through the hard work of learning, hey, this didn't work. I'm gonna still do the Instagram that had all the pictures of a haircut. Then I had to try this. But I evolved because I kept trying different things
You
where
didn't give up.
I would rather just take your course and just figure it out right there.
And that's the thing. That's like barbers, they can get to 10, even 8K. Most barbers, most not 10K, it's like 8K. So you could get to 8 to 10K a month by yourself, but how much time are you sacrificing to learn, to get things wrong, to get there? And then when you get things wrong, are you gonna just get back up or are you gonna be in a little depression period where you're like, damn.
It's not
And
working.
it's like taking you 2, 3, 4, 5 years to get there. Well, you could just find the system that I use, that my students use to get to wherever they are and break down your time frame to literally 6 or less months. That I and him, we both took all the sacrifices. We found out that this didn't work. And early on, my first year in my career, I invested in a mentor finally. I realized early. So if you're tired of just not kind of figuring it out, sick of going through the motions and trying to just cut your time frame, I probably post this this video. So free blunts on all platforms. Hey, take a look at my profile and see if I can help you with that. But besides the point for that, I do think there is a pricing problem. And again, it's the same thing. It's the people that didn't earn it that think they should be charging $100 when realistically, I don't believe anyone should be charging 100 unless you're offering actual service. If it's the VIP, for sure. If you're giving them a hot towel, for sure. If it's just $100 flat for you're not even skin prepping, you're not even hot toweling, you're not enhancing, I don't think it's worth it. And you can look at him or me for an example. I take like 45. Some kids cuts 30, but my main cuts 45. I'm charging 55, 65 bucks. So you do the math, that's 100, 115 an hour. For him, he's taking 30 minutes doing it 60. That's 120 with tip, 140, 150 an hour. And we're not charging $100. Clients are still coming to us happily, paying us.
I would also say shout out to Drake Clipper Hayes. He just put a post controversial. He said barbers that aren't retaining, that aren't busy, have a hard time making friends. And the busiest barbers have a ton of friends. So it takes that same fundamentals to create a friendship with someone. You know, you got to be likable. You got to be able to talk. You got to be able to identify someone's when they don't want to talk about something, if they're having a bad day. I think that's pivotal in this industry. I was telling you off air that 80% of it is that the human interaction. I think 20% is the haircut because I have people that lost their hair, got thin, now they get a baldy, and then the hair don't even grow back. So they can do this at home. They're coming for the conversation, they're coming for the atmosphere. And I think the experience is bigger than being the guy that's the best. And I don't ever say I'm the best barber. There's dudes like Dini Blends that they compete and they win everything. Shout out to him. He's a judge for the Rhode Island Barber Expo. See, that is different. So if you are someone that want to scale your business, you know, some people want to be the best.
Different aspects.
Yeah, I'd rather build the businesses and make a lot of money. Not to say you can't do that being a great barber, but to me personally,
It's not sustainable.
I would say the sustainability is creating something outside of after you establish a consecutive flow of clients and you can translate that money into something bigger than just cutting hair.
Yeah, because even for me, I started this business a month ago. I stopped cutting full time. I used to be cutting 5 days. Now I'm cutting 2 days some weeks. It's like my income has been stagnant for this month period, but I'm trusting the process. I'm taking a risk. I know I have my bills and all that, but I'm taking the risk and actually starting something, building something more sustainable. Because me hitting 10K a month consistently, this is not sustainable. I can't be in the shop physically 5 days a week, cutting 7, 8 to 12 heads a day. It's just not for me, you know what I mean? For some people, they enjoy it, and I love cutting hair, but when the volume gets that much and the repetitiveness and all these different aspects, it's just not for me. I would rather be working, helping people make impacts in them. If their goal is to be cutting that much, I want to help them get there, or I can be helping them literally from where we're at now, Tampa. I had a coaching call this morning with my
That
student.
is so dope because coming from a barber, I'm a barber and I do have a lot of things outside and I do create job opportunities for tons of barbers, hairstylists. Hearing you say that, I would want to disagree, but then I like how you followed up with, but this is why. You know, that's why I think it's important for the why. You know your lane. You're like, you know, I've done that. I put that work in. I think I'm more scalable helping other people because I see the solution in the industry. So you being aware at the young age you are, I think you're going to be someone huge. I think you're going to be someone very inspiring for anyone out there. But also, if you want to make some money, take the course. Bottom line. That's all I could say. Take the course. And you can't blame no one but yourself if you don't apply what you learn. That's another thing. We can all tell people what to do. It's up to you at home, in the car driving, on a plane, wherever you're seeing this, it's up to you to take action. Also apply what you hear, what you learn. Because other than that, just shut it off right now, bro.
Because it's pretty simple, and the way I like to break it down is I know what I can do and I know what I can give you, but if you don't apply it and you're gonna blame me for the results. It doesn't work like that. You can 100%, like if a baby was born today, that baby could 100% be a millionaire. But say a millionaire coached that baby every day. Are they actually going to apply? And if they don't apply, then they're not gonna become a millionaire. Whose fault is that? People like to blame it on the millionaire, but no, it's actually the baby's fault because they're not applying it their whole life. People like to have a guarantee about things. The guarantee is on yourself. Can you guarantee yourself you're gonna put in the work? Because if you are, then you'll be where you want to be. It's that simple. And
to piggyback off what he's saying, what you said, you just don't want to do that. You don't want to work 5 days a week. My argument was to my people is that I'm taking on, you have to take that. You can't skip that and try to scale. You have to experience that. So with that being said, it's so dope that you created something that, hey, look what I learned from my time doing that. And this is what you could do. If you apply this, you can scale faster. I think it's incredible, man.
Yeah, you have to. Like, even now, I said I only working 5 days. I'm working 7 days, you know what I mean? It's phone calls. And this business is it's stressful. It's not easy. And that's why people don't do it. But even times I still call my mentor literally last night. I was like, the dollars, the numbers are not looking the best right now. I was like, you just started something new. It's like I remember when I first started cutting hair, no money. But then scales. That's how things are probably with the expo too. You
Everything.
probably the numbers was like, it's not looking the best, but now you know what mistakes not to make at this next expo.
Yeah, see me, I was never really big on the numbers in the beginning of everything. Everything I started. It was just I believed in it and I'll just do it. And it gets devastating when you start counting the numbers. So when you hire CPAs, as I have done, and you start hire accountants, financial advisors, they're gonna tell you because they're trained, they went to school to only look at the numbers. But humans are creatures of habit and we are different. And I think structurally things are different when you're in the real field. So someone like me on paper does not make sense simply because I'm gonna do everything that might not make sense. So
Exactly.
you are usually in the realm of business supposed to have this, this, and this in order to do this. Me, I'm like, I want to do this. If I can do it, I'm gonna do it. And then if I gotta go back to go get that, I'll go get that. But look, I already got this now. You know, while I got this, I inspired someone else. So now I'm attracting my employees. I am attracting the life I want. I am attracting the friend group I want. Another big thing for you guys out there, I'll write it down. You have to cut off a lot of people because your discipline got to overwhelm everything you kind of grew up with. So you might have friends that be like, oh, come on, bro. You might have a girl. You might have kids. You might have, for anyone out there, there's got to be a level of sacrifice. If you're not going to sacrifice, don't even start. I'm telling you now, just shut it off, swipe up, go to someone else's channel. If you're not ready to sacrifice, if you're not ready to get disciplined, it's not for you because it takes all of those attributes to get to the next level.
It takes everything. And I never realized that until really I started this next business. Because the beginning of cutting hair, it was hard. It was really hard. And now I'm like remembering again what it's like to be kind of at the bottom in this next thing. Because I'm like an underdog and there's the big dogs. And Barber was like a piece of cake. Once you get the systems down in place, it's like a piece of cake. You know what I mean? The clients coming in, you got the automation for the reminders. You just know what to post every day. It's easy. It's repetition. But now my repetition is getting different with this next business because I don't really even know what to do at times. I gotta ask people, I gotta ask mentors and hire different people. So it takes everything. I cut off literally, I have one friend to this day, and he's not even my day one friend. I met him at the gym doing what I do. You're gonna meet new people, and I'm still getting my group of people. Just met Ramos, getting a bigger group and getting a bigger team together. So if I need something, I could call them. And that's what it's about. I think when you have friends and you hang out with them every single day, they're not friends. They're just holding you back because you can't be hanging out every day and actually make something work. You have to be working every day to make something work. It's like that. But
Okay.
next question. What would you say to a barber who's talented, cutting hair for like 2 to 3 years, and starting to doubt if it's even worth it? I mean, I can answer this straight off the bat. I literally only been cutting 2.5 years, and I seen the fruits of the labor. I seen it. I went to Miami. I went here. I went a bunch of different places. I went to Arizona for. I went a lot of different places for cutting hair. Cut hair in Dominican Republic. Cut hair in a helicopter.
Crazy.
We did it all. You can be where you want to be in literally a year. Your life can change in less than a year. You just have to be consistent at it. And the big thing I like to stress now is like for the first year cutting hair when I was actually scaling, my schedule was crazy. Wake up at 5 a.m. I was going to bed by 10. I was reading. I was eating good. I was gym. I was school. Then just straight cuts, posts. That was my schedule every single day. And now I feel like when you know what the needle pushing tasks are, you don't have to have such of a schedule. Like I don't even wake up at 5 anymore. I wake up at like 6, 7 because I know all I need to get done today is like, I need to put out the post and record. That's what pushed my business forward today. And then do some back end work. If you know what you have to do every day, you don't really have to have a schedule behind it because then that's when you burn out.